What if I say 75% of developers around the globe are at risk? Yeah, I have a reason to say this. I was recently reading through a cybersecurity article that was talking about a supply chain attack that we should be aware of. In today's video, I am going to discuss about that, what it is and what sort of attack it is, why we should be aware. And let me explain. By seeing the screen, you might have guessed it. Actually, the threat actors, started targeting the Visual Studio Code users. Visual Studio Code is a popular integrated development environment used by most of the developers across the globe. Okay, and hackers started targeting this application because this application used by most of the people. And I'll tell you what hackers exactly doing in this place. And here in Visual Studio Code, you can, it's backed by Microsoft and also it is created by Microsoft. So it's a credible application. That's why most of the developers are liking to use this. But there are some flaws here. I'll tell you, if you go to this extensions section, you will see bunch of extensions, and these list of extensions are already installed on my machine, but you can see the recommended extensions that you can install yourself. Whatever the extension you want, you can simply click install and install it. And a dangerous thing about this extension is it is hosted in the marketplace. It is owned by VS Code. They are calling it as VS Code Marketplace, and it is community driven. Not only the enterprises are hosting the extensions here, even the individual can host their own extension in this specific platform. The hackers started using this trick, and they are using this specific privilege, and they are creating the malicious extensions and they are hosting it into the Visual Studio Code Marketplace. And look at this blog. So this is the blog I was talking about, and you can see the title: VS Code Marketplace can be abused to host malicious extensions. And the title itself was so fascinating and it dragged me in to read this. And let's read through this. Researchers have found it surprisingly easy to upload malicious Visual Studio Code extension to the Visual Studio Code Marketplace and discovered signs of threat actors already exploiting this weakness. And that is the spooky part of this. They also discovered some of the spooky extensions from that marketplace. And I'm going to show that extension in a few minutes. And before that, let's read through this. Visual Studio Code is a source code editor published by Microsoft. As I said, it is backed by Microsoft, and around 70% of developers are using this one. And Microsoft also operates extensions for Market IDE. That's what I was just showing. So this is the marketplace for the extension, and it is owned by Microsoft. And you may see some of the extensions are downloaded in millions. You can see these extensions and the number of download counts. The popular extensions, the extensions hosted by the popular entities grabs more attention, obviously. But also the spooky part here is it can be replicated. You can able to host your malicious extension with the same name as the legit extension. So you'll be able to you will be able to create or replicate or copy the same sort of extension, and you will be able to host your malicious code within that extension. And that is the really dangerous part of this Microsoft extension market. There are no restrictions. Even you can use the same image, same icon that is used by the legit extension. You can use the same author name, same name, and except that published date and time, you'll be able to replicate all the details as the legit extension. That is the dangerous part of this specific scheme. And if I scroll down further, you may see the code. Actually, they grabbed this code from the one of the malicious extensions they have found from the marketplace. I'll show this code in a while, in a minute, but before that, let's scroll through this quickly. Actually, this was found by the Aquasec, the security research firm called Aquasec, and they gave this in a detailed blog. And if you see this blog, they initially explained about the VS Code and its market, and also its extension, the popular extensions they have mentioned here. And if you scroll down further, you'll be able to see the experiment they did in the marketplace, where they have created a malicious extension, not a malicious, a decoy extension, a duplicate extension, and they used all the details like the original one. And also, surprisingly, their fake or the duplicate extension grabbed more attention, and it got some considerable amount of downloads, considerable number of downloads, and that is the dangerous thing here. And they also mentioned how much downloads they have got while they are writing this blog. And if you see the difference here, difference between the legit and their project info, and you can see the details here. The name, it is same, and the version detail, it is same, and only the released date and time is differs, and also the publisher name is same. You can also replicate the publisher name, and there is a field called unique identifier. Even that unique identifier can be copied and pasted as it is. So that is the dangerous part of this Visual Studio Code marketplace, and that's what they explained here in the points. And if I scroll down further, here they gave, can I trust the extensions from the marketplace? So this is the blog published by Microsoft, and here you can see issues, repository and license. Check if the publisher has provided these and if they have the support you expect. Though they mentioned to check the issues and repository and license fields, still those fields can be replicated in the malicious extension. The replication can be done from the legit one, and that's a huge flaw. And if I scroll down further, they gave about the blue tick. Don't fall for the blue tick. Even that blue tick can be deceived. So that's what they are trying to say here. And if I scroll down further, this is what the real problem. You can see they found two suspicious extensions from the Visual Studio Code marketplace. So let me grab this extension one by one. The first one is API generated plugin. So I'm opening a new tab, and here you can see that API generated plugin is still hosted in the Visual Studio Code marketplace. It is not yet removed. And the second one is code tester, and the code tester is another malicious extension, and it is also still present in the Visual Studio Code marketplace. So these two extensions are more dangerous, but they are still in that marketplace, not yet removed. And I'll uncover these extensions, but before that, let's finish this. You may see they uncovered this code tester extension, and they gave the code snippet here in this image. You may see the image clearly, and here they are defining a variable URL, and they are mentioning a specific URL. Look at this domain, robot now AI.top. Looks like a spooky one, looks like a suspicious one. So let me check this domain credibility in the VirusTotal. The domain name is robotnowai.top. robotnowai.top. Interestingly, none of the security vendors flagged it as malicious, but it is present in the spooky Visual Studio Code extension. And you may look at this code. They mention the URL and it send request to that URL, and once it gets the response from that URL, it executes that response body. And interestingly, you can see this count 30 here. The 30 is nothing but every 30 seconds it is sending request to this specific URL. So without wasting a time, I'll download this 2 extension and uncover what is present within these extensions. You may download it by going to the version history tab, and here you can download the version you want, and I am downloading the latest one. Let me download the code tester as well. Version history. Here the code tester is having only one version and I am downloading that as well. I have downloaded both. I think I can easily uncover this with the command unzip. Let me do that. Nope. I'm using GUI to uncover this, Nautilus. And here I am extracting. I have extracted both. Look at the content within the code tester extension. Content types.xml. So it holds the metadata, the details about the files present in this package. And the manifest document, nothing interesting here in this document. And I'm getting into the extensions folder, and here I can see an MD5 document, couple of MD5 documents. So just a description, change log, and the next is package.json and extension.js. The package.json simply contains the list of libraries used and its version. So it will be giving you an idea what are the libraries used by that package. And let's go to the extension.js. This is the main file where we can see the code snippet, which is already given as a screenshot in the blog that we read. This one. And let's read through this one and understand what it exactly does. And actually it brings HTTP and the OS library. The OS library to execute the command, I suppose. And the HTTP is to send and receive the web request. And look at this one. They are mentioning the URL. This is the URL. Looks spooky. Robot now AI.top. Looks like a suspicious one. So let me search this URL in VirusTotal to understand its credibility. Surprisingly, none of the security vendors flagged this as malicious, but there is one community entry, but that is not interesting, just a name, an empty entry. And look at this one. They are sending request to this URL, and once they get the response from this, they are executing that response body by using the eval function. Eval function is really dangerous. It does the execution. It is detonating the payload. That's what it does. And look at these numbers. The last number 30 is nothing but seconds. So it takes 30 seconds between every request. So that is what this code snippet all about. And by seeing this code snippet, we can clearly understand it is reaching an external destination, and it is grabbing some details and executing it. So it's a malicious behavior, obviously. And we just explored only one extension. We downloaded another extension as well. So let's uncover that also. This is the extension, the same format, content type, and the manifest file. And getting into the extensions folder, and here you can see the same sort of files. So this is just description. The MD file contains the description. I'm getting into the extensions.js file to understand what that extension exactly does. And it's a JavaScript code. So it is grabbing few JavaScript libraries, including HTTP. And I'm scrolling down fast. I can see some Chinese characters here. Apart from that, look at this indicator of compromise, like the URL. So it's an external URL, mockapi.yunshanmeik.com. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing it wrongly, but this is the main domain. So I'm grabbing this domain and checking that domain as well in VirusTotal to understand its nature. And this domain is also having 0 hit. None of the security vendors flagging it as malicious or even suspicious. So, however, this specific URL is suspicious and it is actually present in the Visual Studio Code extension. So once you deploy this extension in your Visual Studio Code and installed it, and it will be sending request to this URL, and it might be exporting some information based on this code snippet. It will act. I'm not stopping here. I am going one step ahead and I'll show what will happen if you install any of the malicious extensions inadvertently into your VS Code editor. And without further ado, let me show that POC part. First of all, I need to host something on a website instantly. For that, I'm going to create a simple file, and I'm gonna host that file locally on my machine. And then by using the ngrok utility, I'm going to host it in the internet. So without the delay, let me show that to you. I am echoing that content, a simple content, and I am redirecting it to a simple HTML file. I'm not giving any HTML tags here, only a string, a characters, and I'm simply redirecting it to site.html file. And the file is ready. Now I need to host this file in the internet, and for that I'm initially using the Python web server in order to host that, and I'm hosting it on localhost 8080, and then I need to use the ngrok utility. Ngrok, it's a handy utility. By using that, you'll be able to host your web application instantly on the internet on a temporary domain. So let me show how it can be achieved. And here I need to mention the protocol and the port. So initially I'm mentioning HTTP and hyphen scheme equal to HTTP, and then I need to mention the port. The port, it should be 8080 because I'm listening on port 8080. So let me start this. Yeah, you can see the connectivity between the local host 8080 and this URL is established, and the URL is HTTP. Now I got this URL. Let me try this URL from the browser. It is asking me to confirm whether are you sure to visit this site, and yeah, you can see here I am able to access it from the internet. So it's a domain. When you resolve, you'll be getting a public address, and you can see the list of files that are hosted on my machine, and I need to access this site.html. So I am simply mentioning that site.html file here, and when I mention, it is throwing me the error because I think it chose the HTTPS randomly. I need to give HTTP alone. Now you can see the content. This is what the content, this is what the characters I typed. Now the URL is ready. We got the URL. This URL can be reached from the internet. And now I'm going to tweak the code, the JavaScript code we have found in that malicious extension. And I'm going to substitute the new URL with that older one. So let me do that. I'm going to use this code tester package, and here I'm getting into extension and extensions.js, and here I'm replacing the URL, the complete URL. Yeah, now I have replaced it, and I need to comment it out. So I think I need to comment this out. So how can I do that? 2 / in front of the line. Yeah, now I have substituted the my URL where I hosted my website, and also I disabled this previous line. because we are nothing to do with this host line. And you can see this number, this denotes 30 seconds. So I am saving this file here. Let me zip this entire package once again, and I'm selecting all of these files and compressing it, and I'm giving the name like code tester v1 version 1, and now I created the zip file, but we have to change the file extension. It has to be vsix, so that is the compatible file extension. I can simply rename the file and change the extension alone, vsix. Now I have renamed it. Now the code tester underscore v1, our specific extension package is ready. Now let me go here to the Visual Studio Code, and here in this extension menu, if you click this three dots, you'll be getting an option to install the extension from vsix file. The vsix file is ready, so we can install it through the file. But before doing that, let me show you another feature of this ng rock. You can see this URL. This URL is nothing but the web interface. So I can open this URL simply from the browser, where I'll be able to monitor all the access requests that this site gets, this specific site gets. You can see the previously accessed log entries. Now, whenever I am refreshing it, you'll be seeing an entry here. All right, now the site is ready. It is ready to receive the connections, and all I need to do is install that malicious extension. And yeah, let me do that through the file. I'm going here to the attacks VS Code hack, and here is that extension. I mean, here is the extension. Yeah, I'm installing it. You may see completed installing the code tester extension from vsix. Now, if I scroll down, I can see the extension came here. Now, let me go to this specific site inspection page. I should be seeing a hit here in a while, because it sends request to that URL for every 30 seconds. So I should be getting the request here. So let's wait and see. I'm simply clicking it. It is already enabled and installed. Yeah, look at this. The count has increased. Actually, it tried accessing this site.html again. This specific website is getting hits. So whenever it hits this, it will be getting this specific message as the response body, and the specific string would be executed within the eval function. So it would give nothing. So this is just my name and a greeting word. Look at this. It keep increases. Every 30 seconds, it would be increasing. That's what the spooky thing about this Visual Studio Code extensions. What if you host any malicious files here instead of a benign HTML document with a message? Obviously, you'll be able to compromise the machine that uses this Visual Studio Code, because the malicious extension installed on this Visual Studio Code application. Look at this. It would be keep increasing. You'll be seeing it, but let me show it in a Wireshark. Now look at this. I am capturing the traffic in my network interface. I'm getting a lot of network traffic here, but I need to filter that specific one I need. I'm simply going to enable the name resolution, resolving the network address. Now I can see the domain names here, and I'd be able to see the domain name of that ngrock website. So let me grab this domain name. DNS query. I am replacing it and giving the enter. I'm not seeing any query, but the count is getting increased. I guess it won't do the DNS resolution anymore. Once it got the resolved IP, it will keep try to send request to that IP directly. So that is why I'm not getting any DNS request. So let me capture the, yeah, look at this. I think I'm getting the IP address here. 272E11599150205. So this is the URL, and you can see the IP 3.6.98.232. So that is what we need to filter now. IP dot address equal 3.6.98.232, and look at this, it keep increasing. See how many times that website been accessed, and it is keep trying for every 30 seconds. So let me follow this HTTP stream. I would be getting the message. You'll be seeing it forever. So whenever you will be accessing, you'll be using this VS Code at the back end, it will be sending request to the malicious domain. So that is the dangerous thing about this attack. So it's a supply chain attack, as the threat actors compromising the Visual Studio Code marketplace, from where many people downloading the extension, and they are thinking it as a legit one and downloading, but if they are doing it without paying the attention it deserves, then they would be in huge trouble. And yeah, this is what I exactly wanted to showcase here in this video. I hope you really learned something new from this. If you get the awareness from this video, then I would be more than happy, and hope you really enjoyed this. If you really did, and if you really learned the new trick from this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified. And if you have any other opinion, put it in the comment section. I am ready to read and respond to your valuable questions. You can also share this video among your friends. I am excited to make more and more videos like this. Hopefully, I'll catch you next time with another exciting one, probably very soon. Until then, I'm signing off. Cheers, and I love you all. Thank you so much.